hopefully I will give indication of the progress that we've made, some of the things that we are doing in the virtual world, and just how we're building community with our parents, students, and staff.
Thank you, Denise. Next, Montalvan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine Acosta Vapraskas. I'm the principal of Montalvan Manor K-8. I have been in that role for 8 years now. I love it. I've been able to see an entire cohort of kindergartners go through the school, and it's just really amazing. We're located in unincorporated San Pablo, so you can find us, we always say, on the corner of San Pablo and Richmond Parkway, right across the Walgreens. So I'm really excited to get to share more about our philosophy of learning at Montalvan and to share what makes our community special.
Thank you, Catherine. Pinole Middle School.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Eric Mapes. I am the principal at Pinole Middle, and this is my first year in that role. I spent the last 7 years as an assistant principal at the high school level, most recently at El Cerrito High. I'm very proud to be the leader of Pinole Middle, home of the Knights, and I'm excited to be able to present all the great things that are going on at our school site.
Thank you, Eric. West County Mandarin K-8.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny, and then I am currently the IB coordinator in West County Mandarin K-8 school. And then this is my first year in this role, but I have been in the IB world for like eight years so far. I moved from Minnesota to California 2 years ago, and I can't wait to share with you how wonderful our school community is, and I want to share how special our school is. Thank you.
Thank you, Gia. And Terra Hills.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sherry Arian. I am a 6th grade teacher at Terra Hills Elementary. And Terra Hills is located in Terra Hills. I mean, it's right, Miss Marina. There are two of us here, so I'm asking her. So it's on Dolan Way all the way up, and it's a beautiful campus, and we have done amazing things with the help of everyone. Oh, and Mr. Mendoza's here, our principal. Would you please take over?
Hello, yes, I'm Ricky Mendoza. I'm the principal at Terra Hills. Yeah, it's a lovely school. As you can see, we have very proactive staff, wonderful teachers, who just, it's a great team to work with, and wonderful family, community, students. Yeah, it's up in the Terra Hills neighborhood. It's kind of hard to describe where it is, and once you get there, it's pretty easy to find, but it's really nice school tucked away in our neighborhood, and very diverse school, doing some amazing things, pre-K through 6th grade. So come join our session.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you, Sherry. And Marina, did you want to introduce yourself as well?
Surely. Good evening, everyone. My name is Marina Flores. I'm the community outreach worker at Terra Hills Elementary. So happy to be here, and I can't wait to see many of you in our breakout room. And thank you.
Thank you. Did we have a member of Stewart School today? Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I think maybe they haven't joined yet. Pinole, hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. My name's Kibbe Kleiman, and thank every one of you for being here tonight. I am in my 8th year at Pinole Valley High School, an international baccalaureate school, which has long been a terrific place for arts and student life, and now intends to be the very same for academics. Lots of students use our high school as an opportunity to jump off and make some amazing college and career plans from there. Everything from award winners in the classroom to Heisman Trophy winners on the football field. I am proud to represent Pinole Valley High School, and will speak endlessly, but just cut short right now my 30 seconds for now.
Thank you so much, Kibbe. Thank you everybody so much for being here. We are excited to talk with you. Next slide. Okay, here are the questions that we will spend the next 25 or so minutes on. And we are going to start with question 1 and then make our way around the panel to hear from each of our leaders, and then move on to question 2 and so on. And then if we have kind of questions that come from each of those during each question, we can do that. And then at the end, we'll have time for Q&A in the chat from our participants. So without further ado, let's start with question number 1, which is, what is the leader's vision for the school? And I think what we'll do is head down the same order that we did before. And we'll start with Denise at Collins. Oh, 1 minute each.
I get to start every time? Huh. All right.
Okay, we won't start with you every time.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, as a leader, my vision is really child-centered and what is going to be the best for the students in not only in Pinole, but in the district, because as many of you know, we have a relatively open district where folks can come and go, and we want to make sure that they are transitioning, leaving our school with the best possible version of themselves for the next grade level. We are a shared decision making without it being official. That means that we meet together as a site all the time, using data, using our best practices to find out what it is that we really want to do for our students. And we bring our parents and students involved in those decisions. As a matter of fact, on the breakout room, my 2 student leaders are going to be with me to answer questions from the families, because I really want their leadership and their position as 6th grade moving on to answer questions about what they are taking away from Collins and their experience. So it's a shared community, it's a shared leadership, and it's about students.
Wonderful, thank you so much. We won't start with you every time, by the way.
Okay, that's all right.
Well, I think we may have lost her, but I think
Sorry, I think we lost
Montalvan
her.
is next. So
Yeah.
I will go ahead and go
Good.
on.
There you go. Way to be a leader.
Thank you. So I'm, again, Montalvan Manor K-8, and at Montalvan, we're in the business of growing leaders. And we really strive to create exciting, challenging learning environments for every member of our community. And we really focus on students taking ownership of their learning. We've taken a lot of risks in learning, particularly around student-led conferences and having every child be able to facilitate their learning process with their families being the leader. And as a community, we also believe that everyone belongs in our learning community, and we really try to make sure that we're giving students the right supports that they need to thrive socially and academically. And as a philosophy, we also believe that we need to embrace our mistakes. Those are all learning opportunities. And so anytime we face a challenge, that's the angle we're looking at it as practitioners. If we were physically at Montalvan, you would see that our hallways are beautifully decorated and really come alive with our student work that celebrate grit and growth. And our classrooms buzz with kids learning and having robust academic discussions and active learning. Now that's all over Seesaw. And so you see beautiful posts of student work, and our classes gather synchronously for 200 minutes, kindergarten through 8th grade, which really sets us as a school to be able to have those 200 synchronous minutes. And regardless of the setting, I would say that every single member of our community, and that's adults and kids, is invested in their learning because they have an opportunity for voice, choice, and leadership.
Thank you so much, Catherine. I'm sorry I disappeared, folks. My computer, I don't know, kicked me out. Thank you for going. Next, next we have West County Mandarin School, and Jie, go ahead and share.
Yes, hi, I'm Jie, and I'm from West Contra Mandarin School, and you can see my school icon somewhere on the top. And so West Contra Mandarin School is a thriving learning community that embodies 6 key values and characteristics in alignment with the International Baccalaureate framework, which is in short IB framework. So the 6 key values are diverse, equitable, and inclusive community. So our school strives to create and maintain a internationally minded community that values equity and inclusion for all students. And you can see different activities to celebrate different cultures. In our school, we have a diverse community of teachers, students, and families. And we have various opportunities for parents to connect with each other. And the second key value is caring for our world and each other. And we always model compassion, empathy, and kindness towards others and appreciate different beliefs. We also value academic excellence and rigor. We value knowledge, collaboration, creativity, independent working, independent thinking, and a strong work ethic. Another key value is perseverance, inquiry, and well-being. So we don't care only students' academic success. We also care their physical and emotional well-being. So we have implementing the restorative justice practice to help students to fix and heal their relationship. So when they encounter a problem in their relationship with their friends, with their family, or with teachers, they can find a right solution to help them to solve the problem. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from Eric at Pinole Middle.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm a firm believer in the middle school model. I think it's important transition between elementary and high school. My leadership style is one of collaboration, and I believe in a shared vision. So that's something that we are working on as a staff right now. We have a very diverse faculty with a variety of skills. They all love being at the middle school level, working with kids that are 13 and 14 years old. I believe in giving the kids every opportunity to explore their interests and take chances. I've always said when I was at the high school, middle school is a good time to take a chance and fail and learn from your failures and come up with ideas on how you can be successful moving forward. So it's really around the growth mindset and having kids push themselves and take on a challenge. I really believe in extracurriculars and after school programs and the electives that we offer. It's an exciting time at Pinole Middle. There's a lot going on. A lot of changes are being made. We have a new vice principal as well. And we're just excited to bring in the next group of incoming 7th graders and build community between our 7th graders and our 8th graders. We only have them for 2 years, but it's an important 2 years in their lives. And when they go to Pinole Valley High, I want to make sure that they feel not just that they're academically ready, but that they actually enjoy school, that they enjoy taking their classes and are looking forward to the challenges that present themselves at the high school level.
Thank you. Next we have Kibby from Pinole High.
Thank you. Our vision is a fairly simple one: to become a California Distinguished School. It is the premier recognition that the state provides. We think we are a year or two away from being able to earn it. That means bringing up test scores. That means graduating kids with IB diplomas. That means having all the subgroups at the school, all the diversity, all reaching successful conclusions as they are with us. In order to make that happen, when I hire a teacher, it is the most important choice I make. It's like putting a justice on the Supreme Court. If I make the right decision, then we benefit for it for years to come. If I make a poor one, then we suffer the same way. I am committed to making this the premier high school in the district.
Thank you. And Robert, please, from Terra Hills.
Thank you. All right. So ours is short. We are committed to doing whatever it takes to ensure the success of every student. And our core values are positivity, and that basically is a growth mindset that, if you can't do something, you can't do something yet. but we could always learn it and frame things positively. Same with frame our needs, use our words, do everything positively. And going towards that, we also believe in perseverance and teach students to try different things and try things in a different way, learn from your mistakes and do it again. And then finally, more than anything, I think we really value community. That's the collaboration of teachers, collaboration of students working together in small groups, students learning from each other, teachers working together in the grade level teams, super grade level teams, cross grade level teams, in committees, and being the big brain of our community of not just teachers, but all our staff who are really bright, wonderful, amazing people, and who are teaching the bright, amazing young people in our school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard a lot of common threads around collaboration, appreciating and fostering diversity, growth mindset, resilient kids, and building a shared vision. And each is unique, but I was impressed by the overlap too. Let's move on to question number 2, and in the interest of mixing things up, interestingly, we're going to start with you, Robert. What is something you want people to know about your school?
Well, one, it's a very diverse school. I guess the one thing is it's very diverse, and that encompasses a lot of things. Our students are, racially, ethnically diverse. We have languages, we have, a lot of students speak Spanish, like a lot of California schools, but then we have a lot of students who, we have a lot of Brazilian students speak Portuguese, and students from Asia, the Middle East. Families speak a lot of languages, a lot of bilingual students, but also with ability. We have a lot of students with special needs and differing abilities. And so just the diversity really gives our students a very unique perspective. I think more than other kids in diverse California schools. I know there are a lot of diverse California schools, but and then I think with the help of teachers and the community at the school, students really learn to respect each other, respect differences, and support each other. And I think that's a very unique community that we have.
Thank you. Next, let's turn back to Pinole High. Kibby, please.
Absolutely. The thing I want people to know about our school is that we really learned a lot from our time in the portables. We moved into the new building last August, and obviously haven't spent much time in it thanks to the pandemic. But the 5 years we were in portables were vital to us. We needed to rely on the community. We needed to use the church across the street, the public library, the city council hall to take our exams, to play our games. We needed to go to the middle school. And we did that out of necessity, but it turned out to be something that really felt and made a difference for us. We want to continue to do so. So when our student makes it to the state honor band, we go to the city council to celebrate it. When we do a presentation, we go to the public library and we invite the community in as well. We want the high school students to see that the world around them is both accessible and ready for them. We want the world outside not to be frightened of or intimidated by or freaked out over high school students. The better we build those connections, the more we go into the community and bring the community to us, the happier everybody is. So we'll play our baseball games at Fernandez Park in order so more people can see us. We'll take our homecoming parade right downtown when we're able to, and then every other year go through the valley part of the town so that everybody can see and be a part of it. Out of necessity came something which has become part of our culture. We will continue to invite community in and be a part of our community heading out.
Thank you. Eric, please, Pinole Middle.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of piggyback on Robert. Diversity is our strength at Pinole Middle, both of our students and our staff. We are very student-centered. Everything we've been doing during distance learning is for students. The technology that we have implemented, some of the surveys we've used during with a panorama. But I also want to say that I've been very impressed by the students. They have taken on the challenge of distance learning, and we've asked them to grow up real fast, to take on the responsibility of time management and organization without having teachers coming around to your desk and asking how things are going. It is really, I think, there have been good sides and bad sides to it, but I really want, being new, when we do come back, I want Pinole Middle to be a community school. And what I mean by that is I want elementary kids coming to our school for events. I want to have extracurricular activities where we're inviting the community. I want people to feel welcome at Pinole Middle. And kind of what Kibby said, I don't want them to be scared of Pinole Middle School. It's a great place. It's an amazing facility. And I'm just excited to get back and be able to show it off to everyone.
Thank you. West County Mandarin, Jay.
Thank you. So our school is pretty new. Our school is founded in 2017, and then being a new school, we are also a IB candidate school. So we started to apply for the IB authorization since last year, and we are the only school in the district who is a dual language Mandarin immersion school. So this is our strength too. Our school has a very diverse student and staff population, and we teach through a transdisciplinary inquiry-based model of the International Baccalaureate framework. That we teach students not just facts, but how to think and apply knowledge in real-world applications. So our curriculum is very project-based. Students are given many chances to collaborate and complete projects together. Our curriculum is also inquiry-based too. So we want our students to take ownership in learning. We want them to find their passion in learning too. So our teachers always drive on what the students' interest in and encourage students to conduct research. For example, reading materials in Mandarin and to present their results in Mandarin too. And then our current language model is 50-50. So that means our students receive 50% instruction in English and 50% instruction in Mandarin.
Would you mind telling us a little bit more about what IB, the International Baccalaureate program, entails?
Yes. So IB curriculum is a transdisciplinary inquiry-based program. So that means we don't teach by subject, we don't teach by single subject. Instead, we will teach through topics. So for example, in each topic, we might integrate some subject content like math concept, social study concept, science concept. So that is more like a real world problem, because in real world, we don't see a problem as a single math problem. We see it as a, so it's just like when we teach our students, like we give them the project, it's not a very single subject project. They have to utilize all the content, concept and skills to finish those projects. And we spend a lot of time in designing our transdisciplinary curriculum. And then we have seen much more higher student engagement in our Zoom session because using this method.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next we have Catherine from Montalvan.
Thanks. So I would want people to know that we're an unconditional education school, and we partner with Seneca Family of Agencies to design a school where everyone belongs. I talked about that in our vision. But what this really means is that every single student is fully included, and that every single student has an individual learning plan, and they get to share that plan during their student-led conferences. So they get to share where they are academically, they get to set goals and can really speak to how it is that they're going to get there. They ask their families for support and actually write it in the plan. This is how you're going to help me, mom and dad. And I think what's really special is that they also get to set goals around social emotional learning. And at Montalvan, every single student has a social emotional screener, and that allows us, the adults, to be able to know the level of support that students need social emotionally. And our deep belief that every learner can achieve also really crosses our curriculum choices. For us, the curriculum that really matched our pedagogy was Teachers College Reading and Writing Program. And it's because it really allows the learners to be the students are doing the leading because they're selecting the texts that they're choosing. They are able to select the topics that they're writing about. And the curriculum really expects small group instruction. And that's where the individualized feedback and tailoring can happen instructionally for students at all levels, kindergarten through 8th grade. Similarly, we also selected Eureka Math, and it's a rigorous math curriculum that really focuses on concept development. And we believe that that's what our students need to be able to be successful when they move on to Pinole Middle and Pinole Valley High School. And we discern math as an asynchronous companion. And all of these curriculum choices, along with our Seesaw school-wide kindergarten through 8th, has really allowed us to have a robust distance learning with a single platform, which our families have really appreciated, because, you know, when you've got multiple children, it's really difficult to know all the different platforms that are out there.
Thank you. And our final responder for this question, Denise, please, from Collins.
So I definitely am going to echo some of what Catherine is mentioning. I want folks to know that we've turned, in 6 years, we've really turned around Collins, and we're building a strong community and partnerships with that community. But we've also implemented Lucy Calkins Teachers College Reading and Writing, and it has really made a difference. We've got kindergartners writing 2, 3, 4 sentences, and it, you know, really being able to describe what it is that they are reading, what they're drawing. We are and again, small group instructions where you can really house individual students' needs and get them to the next level. We have adopted IXL as a supplement to the adopted My Math program, and that is a standards-based online program that really helps the kids get to mastery. We also have something that I'm very proud of. We have monthly assemblies where we really reward the kids for their progress. And when we were in the building, it was everything from you know, mastery in IXL to perfect attendance, to student of the month, to citizen awards. So really making sure that the students understand what we value and that we value that they value it as well. We've implemented PBIS, which is a framework for positive behavior intervention. And that has taken our referrals, our out of control referrals and suspensions from all the way in the red to now we're in purple. And so I feel really proud that the students are really getting to express what it is that they are frustrated by, instead of being kicked out of class, but really, you know, getting to the heart of what is their issues and how can we solve those issues so that they can get back to the business of learning. And it's really made a difference. The other, again, as I mentioned, the small group instruction is where we're really getting to students' potential so that they can get to proficiency. And then the last thing I want people to know is that even in a pandemic, this staff, we have special education as well. So I'm going to mention that at some point, that we have an inclusive program. We have 5 special ed programs, and we do mainstreaming. And so kids, every child has a difference, and every child is included. And so we really are really proud. We have a deaf and hard of hearing class, and the general education kindergartners are learning sign language so that they can sign and communicate with their deaf and hard of hearing buddies in the classroom. But during this pandemic, the staff has risen to a level of technology that many of us thought, oh my God, we can't do this. And we did, and we are, and we are thriving. And every single one of our staff are doing live synchronous work 4 days a week. and they are on the whole time. And I'm so proud of the work that the kids are doing, because the teachers are really holding them accountable and presenting them with rigorous education.
Thank you so much. Can you name the name of the behavioral program that you said you're using again?
The acronym is PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Supports. So it is a program whereby you set up expectations for each of the areas around the building, so that and you teach those expectations so that they are very clear, so that then when a student diverts from that expectation, you can remind them by showing them a poster. Let's say we're supposed to walk in the hall 0 volume on the right side. So we're teaching them just what, quiet. There's lessons going on, so we're going to be quiet in the hallway while we're walking. And if a kid is running or yelling, we stop and say, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? Can you show me how to walk and be quiet? Remember, there's a kid over here who's trying to learn. Can you help him out? Show me." You give them an opportunity to sort of adjust their behavior and walk on. There's no punishment. It's just a reminder. And so it's a real positive way of interacting with the students rather than punishment for a misstep. And that happens in, there's different expectations for each area. We don't want them to be silent in the cafeteria, but we have ranges of voice, right? So if I say, "Hey, everybody, we want you to be on a voice level 1, everybody gets quiet so that we can make announcements about dismissing. But when they're eating and they're chatting, they're at a level 4, right? So there's different expectations depending upon where you are. And I know we're doing this because Pinole Middle also has PBIS that is really above many of us. And so we're trying to send our kids ready to the next level with the expectations of carrying forward those expectations for behaviors in different areas. Right, Eric?
That's right. Thank you.
It sounds like it's really effective, and it makes sense because the kids are given reasons to understand, how they fit into the community, which I really like.
A gentle reminder versus a punishment is always effective.
Right. Well, and just kind of like skills for living. We all have to kind of be mindful of one another, and I think that's really great and just very broad-minded. It makes sense that it helps. Catherine, one more question for you. Can you tell us more about what Seesaw is for new parents?
Absolutely. And thank you for asking that question. Seesaw is a learning platform that our school uses. In fact, the entire district uses K2, but we've extended our license so that additional students through 8th grade can use it. And it is a platform in which teachers are able to assign asynchronous activities. So activities that really align to learning that students had synchronously with the teacher on Zoom. And some of the features that we really appreciate about Seesaw is that students are able to see the assignment, but then either record themselves with a video or record themselves with an audio explaining their thinking. They're able to use their finger as a pen to write. They're able to also just do it on paper and take a picture. So it really allows a lot of flexibility for the learner to be able to choose how they want to demonstrate their learning. On the flip side of that, it also for teachers allows to be able to see in one single page all of the student work. So it really enhances the teacher's ability to do data analysis and know where corrective instruction needs to happen. And on the parent side of the house, it's a one-stop shop to be able to stop and see, did my student complete their homework? I want to be able to see there's a video aligned to this lesson. The teacher's there. I don't know how to help my child. Let me just watch the mini lesson right there. And it really allows a mini professional development as well as a communication tool between the teacher and the parent. And it just really has created this seamless approach to be able to have one single place where our families can get communication and can see progress of learning.
That sounds amazing. I want that for my kids, both of these programs. And folks, I apologize that I'm becoming like a glowing, floating head. I have no power, so I have like candles and things, and it looks ridiculous. So anyway, I didn't realize it was going to get dark so early. So we're working it out, but we'll have power someday in this house. So thank you for bearing with the fact that you can't really see me that much. All right, our third question. How would parents and students describe your school? And for that one, let's start with Eric, Pinole Middle. And you are muted.
Thank you. See, technology. My hope would be that they feel that their kids are safe, and that people care, and the people at the school care about their kids, and that the kids feel that the teachers are there to support them in every possible way, and that they do have expectations, but they also are willing to meet the student where the student is at that time. We did a survey recently, and one of the highest survey question ranks was around mutual respect, and both the students found that they felt that their teachers respected them, which was nice to hear. And I think I'm hoping that what people come out of Pinole Middle is that we're continually improving. We're looking at every possible program that we can implement that will better help students during their maturation to adulthood. Middle school can be a challenging time, and I think it's important that the parents know that when they send their kids off to school, that we are going to take care of their kids, and their kids are going to come home the same way they left. That's my number one priority as an administrator. And that students feel that way as well. And PBIS, they've been using PBIS at Pinole Middle for years now. And it's everywhere around school. If you walk around the school, you'll see be safe, be respectful, be responsible. Depending on where you are, there are different reasons for that. So I also, when we do come back, I want to offer kids as many extras as I possibly can. New electives, after school programs, more sports. It's an important time, and I hope the kids leave the school feeling good about themselves, about their experience at Pinole Middle, and are ready for Pinole Valley High, and that parents feel that they have a voice at our school. And we've really worked this year on communication and making sure that people are aware of what's going on. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kibby, please, Pinole High.
How would parents and students describe our school? Oh my God, it's beautiful. They just built it last year. I spend as much time there as I can because, as you can see, Kara, you may be a floating head. I'm in a closet right now. My school is stunning, and we knew it was going to be new and nice, but what I didn't know was how generous it was going to be in terms of size. Tall ceilings, big rooms, beautiful theater, a library which I would move into if I didn't have an office of my own, with a conference room and its own restroom. It's tremendous. And as a result, we host a lot of things. The District Jazz Festival is at Pinole Valley High School. The County Debate Tournament is at Pinole Valley. The basketball playoffs for the TCAL at our school. We won, by the way. The science fair at our school as well. So this is a place which we want to be a community center as well. It is just a gorgeous building. And I think that people have really respected and enjoyed that. I mean, we decorated the portables when we were there. We put murals and paintings on the wall. We're not going to do that in this place, but we're going to hang, mobiles and do other kinds of things. We've got the ability to really fit our space, and our space is, we were only in there 4 or 5 months before the pandemic hit, so we still have that new school smell. It's a great building.
That's so interesting when I think about your initial story about how you went out into the community and brought yourselves, your facility was limited, and now everyone's coming in to you. I'm sure it's both ways, but it's wonderful. It sounds like you're coming up with new ways to interact with the community on a regular basis.
Yeah, all of a sudden we become a lot more popular of a venue. It was funny, when we were in the portables, there wasn't quite that much demand to come over, but we invited people, and we're delighted to have them. The answer, as many times as we can, will be yes. We would love to show off, because every time we bring a community event in, we insist that it involves our students in some way, whether it just be to walk as ambassadors, to do some of the technology, media to get it ready, but happy to do so. All those experiences are good ones for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Catherine, please.
Okay, so I would say that our families would say that we're very well planned, we're very organized, and we have a high level of communication. We take pride in our community and our student work, and because of that, we have a ton of celebrations, and that's in the physical learning and also in the virtual space. We have things like the Star Dance and ice cream socials and monthly assemblies, and really those are opportunities where all of our student community as well as our family community is invited to celebrate the work. They would also say that we have a real visible leadership, and that's at arrival. My team is out there, myself, we're waving, we're saying hello, we're making connections with families. At dismissal, it's the same. We're doing traffic control, but we're also maybe mediating something outside. We're visible in the classroom. And we also have a lot of caring adults. I would say that because I've been at the school site for 8 years, I've really gotten an opportunity to pick the team, and the folks who are at our campus really go above and beyond and are really driven by our mission and vision. They tutor before school, after school, they run reading clubs, and they just really go above and beyond. And I'll say that when I started my leadership journey, what feels like forever ago, I knew that I wanted to lead a Title I school. I knew I wanted to serve predominantly Black and Brown students. I got that with Montalvan. And I always wanted to say that someday I was going to run a school that I felt really proud to send my own children to. And I'm there this year, and I'm really proud to say that I answer this question as also a parent of Montalvan, because my little guy is a kindergartner there.
Oh, how exciting. That's amazing. Okay, now did you bring him to share his feedback?
No, he is with his dad and the 2-year-old far away from here. Otherwise, you could not hear me.
Okay. Denise, please.
Let's see, what would parents and students, how would they describe the school? I think they would say that it is an open door school. It's welcoming. I'm not going to follow Catherine anymore because I'm going to keep using the things that she says. It's going to sound like I'm copying her, but I love it. I think it's one of the things that's really visible is my tagline is kindness matters. And it is evident throughout the school, and as well as student work and beautiful bulletins boards and all of that. There's a lot of positive reinforcement about the things that really are important, like kindness matters, like teach peace. The kids at the end of every announcement, when we're in the building, and the announcement, they say peace on the overhead, because it's just really important to us that we build that peaceful environment where we're just settling folks down so that we can get to the bottom of whatever the issue might be, and then carry forward with solutions. I think that mindset is evident again with PBIS, and making sure that we are really just helping kids get to class in a way in which they are ready to learn. And again, open and welcoming, amazingly warm staff who know their students. Because I've been there 6 years, I know the families. People call me by my first name. We just have a community, and our PTA is really amazing. Even though they are now all working and staying at home with their kids, they still continue to go above and beyond to give us community events, to participate in monthly events. And we also, we're tiny and we're not beautiful, but we make it beautiful. And when we have events, we often are outside of our building walls. And so we've got to go to Pinole Middle to do our winter program, because we have that many people falling out of out of the room to see their kids. When it's Halloween, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on our playground, because Pinole Valley comes in costume. The band comes in costume and plays the kids in a parade. And so it's just really about community and the families and coming together to do best by their children.
Thank you. Next we have Robert.
Oh, okay. So first, I actually referenced I went to ask a kid. So this is what I got. He said, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's a party every day,
Oh,
and a great school to learn and grow. All right. And so that's from a student. And parents say just are very pleased with the community. It's a great community to send your kid in and to join. The campus it's actually a really nice campus. You know, it probably hasn't been updated for a while, but beautiful location, very nice view, big, huge yard. Students, you know, use the yard, go running, big blacktop, just freshly painted. And then just as far as the adults, all the adults really seem to care about the kids, and parents comment to me about that every day, both in distance learning and when we were in person. Just I've always got compliments about just what wonderful staff I had, either individually, people talking about their child's teacher, people talking about an aide that works with the teacher or with their student, people talking about office staff, our wonderful community worker, our teachers that are here, just what wonderful, loving, and intelligent, and just awesome people that we have working at the school. So that's a summary of things that I've heard described about Terra Hills. Yeah, thank you.
thank you. Jay.
Yes. So our parents describe our school as a diverse and supportive learning community, where all parents are welcome to be involved and provide input in the school. And we have very hardworking staff, and they design different kinds of hands-on activities in the class. And currently, they assign that on Seesaw. And then we have small groups. We have it's very active student in discussion during the class time. And our school, the parents will also describe our school to have many options of the extracurricular classes, such as a coding class, STEAM class, poetry and art. We even have hip hop class coming very soon. We also have a ongoing Chinese calligraphy class instructed by a volunteer parent. And parents will say our school is a global village of students and teachers from diverse backgrounds. And the school is focused on not just the academic success for all students, but also on their social emotional growth.
Thank you. All right, folks, we've got one more question to make our way around the panel, and then we'll have some time left at the end for some questions from our participants. So our last question here is, what unique experiences or characteristics are students leaving the school with? How does your school culture and discipline policy align to this? And for this one, let's start with Robert.
Muted. Okay, so what unique experiences, characteristics are students leaving the school with? I think just students, we have a big focus on literacy. So I think many of our students are leaving the school with a love of reading. So, reading and literacy and writing, it's something that across the board teachers really love to teach, and that we focused on a lot, and students really enjoy doing. So we also use the Teachers College of Lucy Calkins. And I think that with just the honest enthusiasm for literacy, for reading and writing, about sharing personal experiences, sharing knowledge, learning through reading, learning through literature in all its forms, I think really is something that our students leave the school with. And so that's part of our culture. We have to set up our reading club again, but we've had, reading clubs, a lot of incentives that Marina is here, and she's set up a lot of our different systems for honoring students reading and celebrating students, and she's our SCOW, our community outreach worker. And so she's played a big part in the other thing is do focus a lot on social emotional learning, teaching students. We also are working focusing on students to regulate emotions, to deal with situations in which that might lead to what somebody might call a misbehavior or a conflict, and how to and how to, as people, to deal with those things, and a lot of what we've learned is it helps us. We need.
Robert, you're breaking up a little bit. Well, at least for me, I'm not sure if that's true for others. Can others hear Robert?
No.
Robert, we have a little, I think an internet trouble. We'll come back to you if your connection comes, but you're gone. Okay, we'll see if he comes back. Denise?
Sure. Unique experience characteristics. So I asked one of my student leaders what she thought of this question, and her answer was, she's leaving with courage and confidence. And I think that the way in which we are using, part of this is the culture and the discipline, we are using PBIS to really help kids to stand up for themselves and to make sure that they are being heard in conflict when there is an issue. So that, and I'll give you an example of a way in which I deal with a conflict, and then in the end they want to apologize to each other, and one of the parties says, I'm sorry I did, and having to state what it is that they're sorry for, right? I'm sorry that I pushed you in line, I shouldn't have done that. And the other person saying, prior to me interceding, would say, that's all right. And me saying, what I'd like you to say is, I accept your apology, but please try not to push me next time, or please keep your hands off me next time, so that the kids are really able to use their voice in understanding who they are and what they are doing, both good and bad, and on the other side, how that affects other people. And so I think the courage and confidence that we're sending our sixth graders on with is a really huge growth step. Academically, I think we're sending them on with Lucy Calkin, we're sending them on with writing, really being able to write well and to articulate what they're reading about, and not just memorizing or rote memorization of facts, but really why those facts are important, right? Mm-hmm. What the history has to say and why that's important. So I feel really, really confident that we're sending kids on, and I'm going to use Catherine again, really being a leader, sending kids forward as true leaders for the next generation.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, thank you. So folks, we have 4 more panelists to talk with, and then we're going to have a few minutes left for questions. So panelists, try to keep with a minute if you can. Jay.
Yes. So as a IB candidate school, we are fostering our students to learn and apply the IB learner profile. And the IB learner profile is a set of attributes that we want to foster in our students. So for example, risk taker, communicator, inquirer. And actually, these attributes these terms are somehow difficult for younger students to understand, but however, we have embedded these terms into our classroom management system. So for example, when teacher catch students doing something that shows an attribute, they will give them that attribute on Class Dojo. And Class Dojo is an online classroom management platform that a lot of our teachers are using right now. And all these attributes are positive descriptors. So this is the way we reinforce the positive learning behavior in our school. And also, our school is using the restorative justice practice, and we integrate the RJ practice with IB learner profile. So for example, students will say, as a good communicator, how can I express how I feel? As a principal student, what is a good decision for me to take? And what change can I make to make it better next time? As a risk taker, should I step forward and help my friends? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Eric, go ahead.
All right. So when I read this question, I started thinking about, I started from the back and worked my way forward. So cultural discipline policy, of course, we're incorporating PBIS, and we will continue to do that as the years go by. However, one thing change I made right away is that our counselors used to do discipline. They're no longer doing discipline at Pinole Middle. So it will be Ms. Obadozier, who is the vice principal, and myself. Whenever we have a situation that requires us meeting with students and families, it will be the admin, because I think it's a learning experience. You take every situation on its own merits, and you figure out what's really behind whatever actions took place. And so that's a big one for me. But when I think about what I hope kids, when they leave and go to 9th grade, I'm hoping that they feel connected as a group. And I know that's hard during distance learning. Our 7th graders, we're going to now 8th graders are going to be going to high school, and they haven't seen each other for almost a year. But I'm hoping that there's a connection that they feel as they all came together in 7th grade from many different elementary schools, excuse me. And so I hope that family feel when they enter 9th grade, they feel like a collective unit and not just little groups within that student body. But I also hope that the kids continue to be curious, adventurous, fearless, have some grit and some compassion for others, and be understanding that they're going to be okay and they're going to make mistakes, and that's part of life. And so that's kind of who I am as a leader and where I want the school to be.
Thank you. Catherine.
I would say again, voice, choice, and leadership. And I know you guys have heard me say that a lot today, but it's because it really matters to us and what we really hope our students leave with. Having had opportunities to practice their leadership, for example, in the classroom during student-led conferences, in our student council, which we have 2 of at Montalvan, a lower grade one and an upper grade one, and our Black Student Club and our Rainbow Alliance, or just simply on the yard using the peace path to be able to solve a conflict among friends. We believe that our students are leaders, and that's really at the center of everything we do around culture and planning for school. And because of that, our discipline policy is rooted in the use of restorative practices. And so everything we do begins with inquiry-based processes. We allow students multiple opportunities to be able to share what's happened and really investigate to support and restore the harm that's been done. And as a school and adult practice, we also focus on using what's called the student's internal working model to allow us to really think about the angles that students are entering each situation with, to help us identify triggers to prevent any additional manifestations behaviorally occurring. We focus on providing learning so that we never really suspend. In fact, last year, all year, we only had 2 suspensions, which were mandatory suspensions. And instead, we use Saturday school and add learning time so we can have ample time to make up learning loss and to be able to restore conversations. And earlier, I talked about our social emotional screener, and we use that data to be able to create social skills groups that all of our adults teach, including our admin team, and provide mental health services, because we do have 2 mental health therapists that work at Montalvan. And we're really stacked in terms of our adults on campus. I am the principal. I have a bilingual vice principal. I have an unconditional education coach whose sole purpose is culture and climate. And I also have a dean of students. And so we are a strong team really focused on making sure that the experience that students leave with are really what's at the heart of our vision.
Thank you. We have Robert who came back. So Robert, could I ask you to just, if you want to finish your remarks, to do it please briefly, and then we'll have Kibby wrap it up for today, and then we'll have just a few minutes for our participants to ask questions. We are down to just a few, so thank you, Robert.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you so much. All right, just
Uh-oh. I think we're
wanted to go to with the unique experiences and our culture and display PBIS, and we have a lot of yes, we have a lot of opportunities for students. We also have Spirit Weeks. We just have celebrations almost every month. We're No Place for Hate School. We've been meeting the criteria for No Place for Hate for the past, 6 years, I think 7 years. And kids just feel loved, supported wherever they go. And it's just a wonderful place for students to attend for their elementary years. So that's it.
Thank you so much. I'm glad we got you back. And our final panelist for this final question is Kibby.
Thank you. I'll answer this question by way of an anecdote. Every 6 years, there's an accreditation committee called WASC that comes to visit the schools. It looks to see whether or not we deserve to be relicensed. And one of the things WASC does is says, give us a panel of about 20 students who we can speak to talk about what the school experience is like. And what I thought of doing, which I've continued to do, is this. I said, pick any number from 1 to 1,300, which is the number of students we've had, which has grown since I've been there. And I say, you pick any 20 numbers at random and you can talk with those students. That's kind of confidence that I feel in terms of how clear our vision and our mission is, that you can grab any 20 students on campus and say, what's this school about? And you will hear the same answer from all of them. Doesn't mean that everybody's experience is the same. With 1,300 kids, there is no one single characteristic. We graduate poets, we graduate musicians, graduated a kid who's making $750,000 for the Philadelphia Phillies. No jealousy there that he's making more than I will in 30 years as an educator. We have kids who are just, making it past, who just crossed the finish line and needed a lot of help to do so. We have English learners, we have special needs students. Every one of their Pinole Valley experiences is probably very different. And so I really can't answer that except to say, ask a Pinole Valley student what we're about. And I imagine you're going to hear the same answer in some ways from each of them.
Thank you. I want to take a moment just to thank you all so very much for your time and your thoughtful answers this evening. It's been very enlightening for me, and I'm sure for everybody who's participated here. We have 5 minutes for questions, but again, don't fear participants, because you will have the breakout rooms. If you want to ask a question aloud, please use the raise hand button. If you want a moderator to ask your question, please use the Q&A button. So you can see those buttons there. We'll give you a moment. Okay, I have a question that comes from the app, and it is, what things have you learned during distance learning that you will keep when students return to in-person learning? Folks, does anyone want, our panelists, does anyone want to go and take this one first? Catherine, I see you shaking your head. Yes.
Yes, I'm ready. Definitely Seesaw. So we made this commitment to this learning platform, and it is really revolutionized learning. And we've seen some students that are hesitant in the classroom to share their thinking really come alive with the online portal and being able to record their voice. And it's really just allowed teachers such valuable data to be able to understand student thinking and hearing a student explain a problem. And so we've made a commitment that we're going to keep Seesaw school-wide and continue to use it as a digital portfolio to support student learning.
Thank you. Kibby, do you have anything that comes to mind that you'd want to keep?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a really good math support program that we found, which students can work on their own. Teachers can integrate it with the classroom as well, but it allows students to work. They take a diagnostic to see what level they're at, and it slowly works them up so that they really master the skills of it. It's a winner. It's a great educational tool. We'll keep that with us when we come back to real life.
Thank you. How about you, Robert?
Just the flexibility, I think, with digital learning. More and more thinking about, will we necessarily need to do things like independent study? Will we necessarily need to do things like suspensions, that sort of thing? If we have the option of teaching online, and then of course all the platforms that we've started to use. We've used, we had IXL before, we had the one-to-one tablets before, but just the flexibility in their use, I think would really, we've learned a lot how to use them, and then we've, expanded our repertoire of digital platforms, and just making sure that we're using them and being flexible about learning and giving students different opportunities. So I think we've learned a lot, we've experienced a lot, and I think we're going to take it back to in person. Thanks.
I think we may have lost Cara for a moment. I think I saw her slide off. So we are gonna wrap it up because it is 6:14. We are very excited for the time you all have spent and really appreciate your energy and effort. We're excited to record this and get it posted up in both Spanish and English so people can learn more about you as they're exploring the great schools in our district. We're also really excited because we have the links are all in the chat to go to breakout rooms. Please visit our powerful school leaders. I know many of you are having folks join you to answer questions, be parents or other members of your staff and team. And lastly, we have our raffle winner. We're very excited. The raffle winner for $50 a target is Juanita Barrera. Congratulations. You are the proud recipient of a Target gift card. Whoop, whoop. Thank you again all so much. We'll leave the window open just for a moment for you to grab links. Also know they're at the EdFair website, wccedfair.com. Just go on in, click on the agenda for this session are all those links that you're going to want to see to pop in and meet our amazing school leaders. Thank you all for giving us your evening. I know you've worked all day and I have so much gratitude for your time this evening. And we will talk with you all soon. Thank you.
Natalie, can I interrupt just a moment before we do that? Because
Sure.
Jamila Anderson asked about the broader issues that are happening in society. And I don't think any of us touched on the race and equity work that we have been doing so diligently as administrators. And we are working extremely hard to build our capacity to have those conversations with our students. And I really, when we go into breakout rooms, if you're in my breakout room that's tired from all day, I think each one of us will be able to answer that question for you about the work that we're doing with our staff as well as with our students.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for catching that in the chat. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, have a wonderful evening. We'll send you all off to your breakout rooms. We'll leave it open for just another moment more for folks to grab those links. And then we'll talk with you all soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.